Under the fluorescent lights of a grocery store aisle, something extraordinary was about to happen that would forever change the lives of the little girl and the man who had been labeled an absolute monster. The sound of cartwheels echoed across the store, as did the quiet humming of refrigerators and faint, hushed shoppers. Behind him, on his leather vest, was the words Hell's Angels, walking down the aisle with glee. Logan Pierce, who had spent the majority of his life escaping his past, bad decisions, broken promises, and a broken heart. But on that fateful afternoon, he succumbed to life's responsibilities. If you believe in the power of kindness, one chance at life, or one courageous act, please like this post and subscribe and let us know your thoughts. We want to know for sure that heroes sometimes wear leather jackets, not capes. On that particular day, Logan wasn't looking for trouble. He was only there to buy food before going out for the day. However, as he turned around to enter the cereal aisle, something appeared and left him frozen in his tracks. A little girl, who was not yet 6 years old, was walking alongside a snake tattooed on his arm. Her hand clung to Logan's arm, leaving her with a fear-inducing feeling. When she saw him, she raised her hand, palm open and fingers spread. Logan had previously spotted the hand sign on social media, which indicated that someone was in danger and could be rushed to safety or hospital. He pondered whether he was mistaken about the child's behavior, saw her trembling on the lip, the bruises on her wrist, and the way Logan looked at him with fascination. Despite not being familiar with the youngster, nor her story, his heart raced. Something ingrained him, something that had been buried for a long time, shook. With his cereal box firmly planted, he walked towards them. The man with the snake tattoo looked at him intently, his gaze sharpened and his body stiffened as if a fight was about to take place. A little girl's eyes screamed, "Please don't leave me." Then Logan looked up and down at her, wearing heavy boots that echoed across the room. He smiled slightly, pretending to be someone to talk to. "Hey, boy," he said softly. His voice was warm. The man pulled the girl closer and they were both in a hurry, but Logan couldn't help but cry, "Liar." He continued to hold her hand up high and reverberate like the lighthouse beacon calling through the fog. Logan pointed to the man behind them and then knelt down, whispering, "You're safe now." He then stood up straight away and took a photo with his phone. The man growled in confusion, and he proceeded to ask what they had just done, indicating that it was an act of depravity. Sad, chilly, assertive, "We shouldn't create a commotion, buddy. Law enforcement is on the lookout." The man had already triggered the emergency SOS button on his phone. Shortly after, he panicked and let go of the girl's hand before walking her down the aisle. Logan wrapped his leather jacket around the trembling child and led her towards the storefront. Shoppers were left stunned as the sirens blared and sounded. The girl, identified as Mia, clung onto him tightly, her small hands gripping the edges of his jacket as if to hold onto the only thing safe. The police arrived quickly, apprehending the man before he could exit the parking lot. It was later revealed to be not her father. 2 days earlier, he had taken her from a local park, and she had not been seen since. As the officers read her statement, Mia kept looking back at Logan and didn't cry. She remained silent. She held his hand tightly, as if he had arrived for a reason. Logan, who had been referred to by many names but had not been well adjusted, felt something break within him. When her real mother came round to her daughter, Logan turned away and wiped his face with the back of her hand. Mia then ran up to him and left. She placed a small toy charm in his jacket pocket and whispered, "You're my biker angel." Logan didn't know what to say. He nodded, smiled, and walked out into the sunlight, his boots shivering softly on the pavement. Days later, local news reported that Logan, a little girl, was saved by the Hell's Angel, who gave her the silent signal. Overnight, Logan became something he never thought possible, but it wasn't just about fame. It was a moment of solace, the realization that the road he had been riding for years had finally brought him back to life. Logan would frequently visit the same store, sometimes with the hope of meeting Mia and her mother for the first time. Occasionally, he didn't pass by that spot. However, each time a small angel charm on his bike's keychain slipped his fingers involuntarily, his promise to never overlook another hand raised for aid. He was aware that the day that saved his life, just like Mia had. If you're inspired by this story, please feel free to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Spreading awareness is the key to success. Before you leave, comment on what you would have done if you saw a little girl raise her hand in her own face. Thank you, Lord.